Hi folks, here we are with the official practice question of the day from the College Board website for 3/18. Official question of the day. And here we have a nice little fill-in question. The blank of Queen Elizabeth I impressed her contemporaries. She seemed to know what dignitaries and foreign leaders were thinking. And this currently shows about 52% correct. My guess is a lot of the issue with this particular one is vocab. We can see that there's some kind of nasty vocabulary in the answer choices. And it's true that there's no way to master these questions without mastering vocabulary, but there are some things you can do to give yourself the best chance possible. And the easiest way to think about it is ignore the answers. Focus on the question and focus on the meaning that has to go in the blank. So here, what do we know about Queen Elizabeth I? Well, she seemed to know what people were thinking, right? What do I call someone who knows what people are thinking? Well, we could say something like the mind reading of Queen Elizabeth I impressed her contemporaries. How do I know it's that and not, her fashion sense? Because of the specific language in the question that tells us that she seemed to know what people were thinking. Now, once we have that, we know that the answer has to be something like mind reading. Then we can look at the answer choices and almost ignore the question now. Too often people just kind of put the answer choices in the question to see what sounds right, and it's an easy way to get fooled. So make sure that you have something in mind first that you are really happy with. In this case, something like mind reading. Symbiosis doesn't match. Symbiosis is when two things are working together. Malevolence means sort of hatred for, or feeling like something is evil, and so that guy's out. Doesn't match mind reading. Punctiliousness means sort of strict or demanding. Again, does not match what I have. Consternation means confusion, bafflement, fear, something like that. And again, doesn't match. And so we're left with perspicacity. Again, a tough vocab word for sure, but we can almost back into it. Perspicacity means sort of intelligence, insight. And if I have great insight into somebody, I can sort of tell what they're thinking. So again, that's the bottom line with this particular question. You make sure that you have something in mind first. Don't just try their answer choices, and then get rid of what you can. Now, everybody has a different vocabulary, so don't be surprised if you might have to take a guess, right? Maybe on this one, I can get rid of symbiosis, but I don't know what malevolence is, or I don't know what punctiliousness is. Then I have to take a guess, and that's totally fine. You're going to be guessing on some of the sentence completions when it comes to this test. Just give yourself the best chance possible by coming up with a good word or phrase first, and then getting rid of whatever fails. Just to note, their hint here isn't terrible. It's just not sort of getting us as focused as we should be. So think about what word describes a person's ability to perceive the thoughts of others. Don't just think about it, write it down. Come up with a word, come up with a phrase, write it down, and then get rid of whatever fails. Well, that is our official question of the day. Thanks for listening. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at aaron@passportprep.net. I look forward to hearing your questions, and good luck with your preparation.